So you may be thinking, where would I start with this retrospective? I decided to start from the beginning, the very beginning, the first adaptation. The first anime was different from the series we know and love today. To make a comparison, I'd say this series is like the original version of Full Metal Alchemist adapted in 2003 versus the Studio Gallop series, which is like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in 2009. Both having similar stories but diverging at a point. We have Toei Animation working on this series. They did Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon and later One Piece, so the animation has to be good, right?
What? No!
The problem with Toei at this point was that they were in a poor position in terms of money, so the series looks cheap and only slightly better than the ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion. So the story begins with a young kid playing card games to save the world, right?
No.
This series is about a kind-hearted teenage boy, Yugimoto, and his life in Japan. Seeing as he is shorter and weaker than most other people in this being Japan, he gets the crap beaten out of him a lot. He then gets revenge for his Millennium Puzzle, which unleashes the spirit within.
Yeah, Ushio-san.
Also, hi Tetsuo Ushio, yeah, same cop duelist who got his ass kicked by Yusei in the first episode of 5Ds. I love continuity. So the plot of the series is basically the same every episode. A jackass appears and uses a trick or game in order to look better, and the spirit of the puzzle, known as the Pharaoh Atem, takes over to fight them in a game.
It's a hoot!
The games are all rigged, however, in order for the spirit to win. The games are there in order to test a person and how they will react, and then will receive a penalty game. This will result in the spirit punishing the jackasses with some kind of horrifying visions. For example, picking the highest amount of cards to reach the top of the rope in order to prevent yourself from falling. Ushio draws the Joker card and loses but tries to attack the spirit.
Pretty f***ed up, Joey.
The spirit is sadistic and twisted in this season, as opposed to later versions. He torments his opponents by letting them fall into a false sense of victory and then turns the table on them. The funniest part is that his opponents are such evil people that you cheer for the spirit to defeat them in a game. Characters introduced in this series include Jonochi. He's the delinquent of the group, mostly due to his past of being part of a street gang. His family is split up and he has a sister who's in the hospital. He starts off as a bully character picking on Yugi but later becomes his friend. Honda is the honor student and the rule character. He tries to keep order in the school. He also has a huge crush on Miho. Anzu is the girl of the group and probably the most normal character in this series. Her dream is to study to become a dancer in New York City. Unfortunately, a lot of the time she becomes the damsel in distress for the spirit to save. Finally, there is Miho. She is worthless apart from her crush on Honda and is airheaded and dumb. There is also the character of Seto Kaiba. Seto is pretty much straight up villain in this series.
He's pure evil.
Doing anything to win. Hell, he builds a theme park just to kill Yugi.
Oh yes.
He went insane after his duel with Yugi and tried to defeat him in any way he could. I'm happy they changed him from a villain into a man with morals, as it leaves little room for growth just being an evil man doing evil things. Finally, there is Bakura. He is like an evil version of Yugi in this series, like he would be in later versions of the character. His plot of turning the characters into pieces of game would later be recycled into the Duelist Kingdom arc. I'd say his character, both in normal and spirit form, were similar to their later versions in the Duel Monsters version. The trading card game was introduced in a simple form with the introduction of Seto Kaiba. The series continued to showcase it through Def T. It was the most popular game of the series and caught on with Bandai and later Konami releasing the trading cards to the world. Overall, Season 0 is an interesting though repetitive watch. It's an interesting experience seeing where all the characters we know came from first in animation, so give it a watch if you're curious, but I'm not done with this version. I'll be back with the Toei movie and the introduction of the Red Eyes Black Dragon.
何？待ってたぜその言葉。